Just a reminder before today's programme that previous instalments of the Now Review are available to view in the Now Review playlist. And now, here on AMTV, we take a look at one of the more recently released Now albums, on the Now Review. Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and welcome back to another instalment of the Now Review, and I have a brand new release for you today. We have Now 100 Hits, The Legends. Now this album's quite interesting. At the time I'm recording this, I've actually got this early ahead of its official release date. It was meant to be released on the 20th of November, it was then pushed back to the 27th, and I've managed to pick it up on the 23rd. That's the time of recording. You might be seeing this before the 27th, you might be seeing it afterwards, I haven't decided yet, but just find it funny that a lot of people have been able to get it early. Morrison's is the way apparently. But this is indeed the latest Now album at the time of recording. And again, it's a theme that Now has sort of trodden on before. If you remember a few years back, Now they did Now, I think it was just called Now, that's what I call Legends. That was only a 2-disc release, not a 3-disc release, that just had a lot of, really great songs over the past 40, 50 years. So I'm going to guess from the outset that this might be a similar fate, although now we have 100 songs on there instead of about 40, and it's across 5 discs. And the cover is very much what you'd expect. It's almost like the Now logo there is taking the place of something like 20th Century Fox, that sort of grand old school logo with the floodlights soaring out to the sky. I do love the black and gold colour scheme here, I have to admit. I've always liked that on Now covers. I think that original Now Legends was more like black and white with a tint of gold, so I think I prefer this cover, definitely. So, let's have a look at that all-important track list, of course. Is it the paragraphs? Yeah, of course, it's the paragraphs. You can't really read that there, so let's open up the front panel and see what we have on CD 1. Okay, so it seems like we're not going in year order chronological-wise, as the first song is Faith by George Michael, which was the late 80s. You got some Elton John, Tina Turner, Amy Winehouse, Aretha Franklin, Gloria Gaynor, Lionel Richie, Diana Ross, Paul Simon, Barry White. A lot of big songs there across various decades, to be honest. So I think looking at it, a lot of these are definitely 70s and 80s. You got Stevie Wonder with a song of his from the 60s there. Bill Withers, The Temptations, The Supremes, Dusty. Yes, love a bit of Dusty. Benny King, Dionne Warwick, Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, finishing with Elvis Presley and Suspicious Minds. Okay, so the majority of that first disc is sort of a blend of 60s, 70s, and 80s. CD2, you got a bit of John Lennon, you got Bob Dylan, Rod Stewart, Bon Jovi, Fleetwood Mac, Don McLean, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, Daryl Hall and John Oates, ELO, Kate Bush, and the Hollies there. Again, so we're really getting a blend of 60s, 70s, 80s, so are they saying anything from like the 90s onwards aren't classed as legends yet? It's only sort of, 80s and further back? Oh, we'll have to see as we look down further. To their credit, the majority of these songs, in my opinion, are classic songs performed by legends, so they are very apt on here. You've got David Essex, Steve Winwood, Robert Palmer, Paul McCartney and Wings, Status Quo, The Jam, The Who, and The Clash. The Jam, Who, and The Clash. That'd be a massive sandwich, wouldn't it? CD3, or Annie Lennox with Why. That's one of my favourite songs ever, really personal to me. And that's from the 90s, that was 92, so we're creeping into the 90s. You've got ABBA, you got Blondie, Billy Joel, Celine Dion, okay, we're getting into the 90s now, James Brown, Tom Jones, Billy Ocean, Coldplay, into the 2000s, Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue, you got Britney, Pink, Christina, Take That, The Culture Club, UB40, John Legend, so even getting into the 2010s there, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion again, and you have Robbie Williams. Okay, so we are getting into the 90s and 2000s gradually here on Disc 3. I wonder though, like the proximity, I mean, the 2010s were a hit and miss decade for pop music. You've got John Legend on there, will there be more 2010 stuff on here? So on CD4 you've got Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole. Okay, so we're really going back now, really to like the crooner days. And you got the Four Tops, and there's Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, Earth, Wind and Fire, Sly and the Family Stone, Donna Summer, Curtis Mayfield, the Jackson 5, Kool and the Gang, Luther Vandross. It's a weird blend starting with the 50s and segueing more back into the 70s, 80s. Got Supremes, The Drifters, Commodores, Smokey Robinson, Percy Sledge, Randy Crawford, and Louis Armstrong. I'm loving like the Motown influence here. There's quite a lot of Motown hits. I mean, rightly so. A lot of them are legends in their own right with some really wonderful tracks. So I'm loving like the sort of more R&B soul pop influence on these albums too. We've got a final disc here, kicking off with Shirley Bassey and Goldfinger, one of the most iconic movie songs of all time. Janis Joplin, The Temptations, Stevie Wonder again, Martha Reeves, Andy Williams, Buddy Holly, Roy Orbison, Glenn Campbell, Simon and Garfunkel, Sound of Silence, iconic of course, Barry Manilow, Tom Jones again, Engelbert Humperdinck, oh blimey, 10cc, Marvin Gaye, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Etta James, Nina Simone, Patsy Cline, and Jeff Buckley with Hallelujah, which is a very great version of Hallelujah, actually. I can't remember if that's the version that was on the Shrek soundtrack or if that came a few years later or before. Okay, interesting way to round things off. Just a few little bits to note on the album sleeve here. So there is the front cover without the Now logo, and that looks great. I love that you can see more of the floodlights there, and it really does echo that 20th Century Fox style. Really, really cool. On there is black. You got a black panel, and there is the usual call out to follow Now on all their social medias. And someone correctly pointed out last time, I believe, or whenever this comes out, I didn't show off the disc, so I will do so now. Just pulling that out there in these awkward boxes. There you go. A nice gold disc with the logo all in black, which is cool. And you've got the lines, which I guess are meant to represent the searchlights there. Bit mixed on those. They look a bit tacked on. I think it would have just been nice with the gold and black combination. So that's your track list. So overall, what are the thoughts on this album? Well, in terms of what is a legend, that can really be, I guess, your own discretion. Someone who's been around for only a few years in the music scene, you could class as a legend. This album's really focused on the true classics, and I mean, like, you know, stuff from as early as the 1950s with, like, the crooners, Sinatra, Dean Martin, all the way up until the modern day. There wasn't many songs in there from the 2010s. The one that sticks out is All of Me by John Legend, which is a cracking song, don't get me wrong. So they've really focused on the older stuff here. In terms of whether it's worth your money, I mean, I got this from Morrison's for only £10, so Morrison's is a good shout. I mean, it'll range anywhere from £10 to £13 probably, as is the way at this point. But I guess the question is, if you bought the Now Legends album that came out a few years previous, is this one worth your money? And I'd say yes. I mean, for one, you're getting at least around 60 more tracks than that original release. You're getting a wider variety by that of Proxy. You know, you're getting more choice and selection. It is just more bang for your buck, you know. And the original Legends release had some great songs on it, because I remember commenting for a 2-disc album how good they were. But yeah, this is just like, this is the upgraded version. This is the more superior version. This is the version you want to get if you want a Now Legends album. But that's all for this installment of the Now Review, but let me know in the comments, what did you think of this release? Did you prefer this new one to the old one? Are you going to hang on to your old copy? Did you like the tracklist on here? Did you want some more modern stuff? Let me know in that comment section. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and if you're new, please do subscribe to the channel for more Now-related content amongst others. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next one, I will see you guys next time. A massive thank you to our producer and director patrons for your support towards us here at AMTV. You just help keep us going, and that's massively appreciated. And that does bring us to the end of another evening here on AMTV. We hope you enjoyed the programme. Please do keep supporting the channel with all our festive offerings that we have for you every single day of December. And until you tune in again, we hope to see you next time. Good night.